You think the late night is the quietest time of the day, but it's in the dark that the most mysterious things come alive. Unexplainable sounds, eyes lurking behind the curtains, and the things you never want to face are closer than you think. In today's video, you'll hear 4 terrifying true stories told by those who lived through them, and to this day, still can't forget. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and get ready to step into the night. Story 1. The Figure in the Woods. I'm a cop in South Jersey, been doing this job for over a decade. Most people think being a cop means constant action, but that's far from the truth. Most nights are just empty patrols writing reports and responding to random midnight calls. But some nights are unlike any other. That night I was on the late shift. It was overcast, no moon. The wind was light and a thick fog blanketed the road like a curtain of white. The radio weather broadcast suddenly cut out, just static, mixed with faint, distorted music. I was driving down a remote stretch. No streetlights, no houses, just dense forest on both sides swallowing the road. As I turned a bend, I saw tail light reflections ahead. An abandoned car parked crookedly on the grass engine, off, lights out. The driver's side door was slightly open. Even from a distance, I could tell something was off. I flipped my signal, rolled slowly toward it, my hand already resting on my gun. I was about to step out and check, when a figure stepped out from the vehicle, stood still for a few seconds, then suddenly bolted into the woods. What made my hair stand on end, he ran extremely fast and completely silent, not like any normal person. I immediately called it in suspicious activity. With my flashlight in hand, I approached the vehicle. That's when a sickening stench hit me, rotting flesh, sharp and metallic enough to choke. The inside of the car was empty, but the terrifying part, dozens of tissues and cloth rags soaked in dark, dried blood. Not just the front seats, but the back too. The floor even had tiny splatters of dried blood. I stepped back and aimed my flashlight toward the woods. "Police, is anyone injured?" No response. I took a few steps closer to the tree line when a raspy voice whispered from the darkness, "It's not your turn yet." I spun around, flashlight sweeping wildly. No one. No footprints. No blood trail. Just wind and a wall of fog. I went back to the car and opened the trunk. Inside was something heavy wrapped in brown paper. When I unwrapped it, I nearly threw up a severed human hand. Fingers curled. A small tattoo of a key near the wrist. The blood dried thick. My heart pounded. I called for urgent backup, possible homicide. When the team arrived, we searched the woods for hours. No blood trail leading away from the car. No footprints. Nothing. The car was reported stolen, but the owner had no idea who took it. Forensics later revealed the hand didn't match any DNA in the system. Unidentified. No one knows who ran into the woods. And no one knows who that hand belonged to. The case went cold. But what still keeps me up at night is that after that night, every once in a while during my solo patrols, the radio would glitch and play that same voice. "It's not your turn yet." Story 2. Camille never left. I work in the offender monitoring unit, those who wear ankle bracelets. One fall evening, we received the final signal from a woman named Camille. The tracker stopped at an old, nearly abandoned house deep in the suburbs. My partner and I arrived around 8 p.m. The surroundings were eerily still. The few streetlights cast a faint yellow glow onto the crumbling brick walls of the house. We knocked. A middle-aged woman answered, hair messy, skin pale, gray eyes void of light. What chilled me was this. She immediately looked straight at me, even though I was standing to the side of the door out of her view. Before I could say anything, she muttered, "Camille didn't go anywhere. She's still here. She's always here." Then she dropped to the floor, chanting Camille's name like a prayer. We stepped inside, and instantly something felt wrong. No TV, no ceiling lights, just a single dim lamp at the end of the hallway. Peeling walls, creaking doors. And every time I left a room and looked back, the layout had changed. The house was shifting. The woman kept appearing behind me. No footsteps. But every time I turned around, she was there, silent, wide-eyed. Upstairs, we found a white-painted door sealed shut, as if it had been painted over while closed. We had to shove it hard to open. Not a bedroom, but a pitch-black attic, lit only by a flickering pull-string bulb. In the corner was an old wooden box. Carved on the lid, Camille, 2004, 2020. I opened it. Inside was the broken ankle monitor, a braid of hair, and a black and white photo of a little girl standing next to that same woman. But the girl's face had been scraped off with a razor blade. I closed the box and backed away. As we descended the stairs, the woman was already seated, hand on her neck, stroking a necklace with no pendant. We left immediately. According to our watches, we had been inside for just 20 minutes. But I swear it felt like hours. I never went back. And Camille was never found. But maybe the woman was right. Camille never left. Story 3. The baby still cries. Bob, my cousin, is a cop in Georgia. One night they responded to a call from an old man near an abandoned house. He sat on the steps, pale as a ghost, saying only one thing: I can't erase that image from my head. I just can't. Bob entered the house. The stench of decay hit him like a punch. The living room was packed with trash-spoiled food, ramen cups, old newspapers, and flies buzzing everywhere. He moved deeper into the hallway where the odor was strongest. The back bedroom door was ajar. Bob pushed it open, and in that instant, his world shattered. On the bed lay two corpses, a man and a woman, gray-skinned, decomposing into the blood-stained sheets. Eyes wide open, flies crawling over their eyeballs. More flies poured from their mouths. But what made Bob shake was what lay between them. The woman clutched a dead infant, its tiny hand still gripping a small stuffed bear. When a cockroach crawled out of the baby's mouth, Bob ran outside and vomited violently on the steps. Later investigations showed the couple were heroin addicts. The baby died after being neglected for days. When they realized their child had died, they overdosed, ending their lives together. Bob's still on the force, but since that night he drinks more, goes to therapy every week. And in his nightmares, he says he still sees that baby lying on the bed, and it's still crying. Story 4. The thing under the bed. I got the call just before midnight. A woman reported a break-in. The kitchen window was smashed. She heard footsteps inside but saw no one. Then the call abruptly cut off. I arrived. No one answered the door. I went around back. The kitchen window was indeed shattered glass all over. I called out police, no answer. I climbed in. The house was dark. Only moonlight filtered through thin curtains. I crept upstairs. A soft female voice called out from one room. "I'm here." She sat on the bed, clearly shaken. When I asked, "Are you hurt?" she softly replied, "No, there's no one here." But her eyes, they signaled something. I looked toward the closet. She slightly shook her head. I looked under the bed. She nodded ever so subtly. I said aloud, "Ma'am, I need you to sign a report confirming nothing unusual happened." She quietly stepped over. As she neared, I suddenly pulled her out of the room and shouted, "Out from under the bed, drop the weapon." From the shadows, a man slid out holding a loaded gun. I tackled him just as backup arrived. After being arrested, he confessed he'd broken in earlier that afternoon. Waited for her to fall asleep. When she called the cops, he forced her to hang up, then hid under the bed with the gun ready. If I hadn't noticed her eyes, that night might have ended very differently. These are 4 true stories told by those who came face to face with the things no one ever wants to meet. Not every mystery has an answer. Not every monster gets caught. And sometimes, the scariest thing isn't in the dark. It's right where you thought you were safe. Let us know in the comments which story gave you chills the most. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear more true scary stories told exactly the way they happened. Sleep well, if you can.